Stop everything for a moment and imagine this. What if two of the most iconic stars in Korean entertainment quietly reached another turning point in their story, while the world was busy creating its own version of events? What if this time the goodbye felt different? Not dramatic, not explosive, but final in a way that only maturity can bring. If you want to understand the real shift behind the whispers surrounding Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo, then stay with the story until the very end and follow Kdrama Havenn for more deep dives that uncover what truly lies beneath the headlines. The rumors did not begin with a scandal. They began with silence. For weeks, fans noticed something subtle. Lee Min-ho had been unusually reflective in interviews. His tone softer. His answers more intentional. When asked about love and timing, he did not laugh the question away. He paused. He chose his words carefully. He spoke about understanding when to hold on and when to let go. That single phrase was enough. Social media began connecting invisible threads. Old clips resurfaced. Fan edits reappeared showing moments when Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo had crossed paths at award shows, fashion events, and industry gatherings. The chemistry in those brief exchanges became fuel for a renewed wave of speculation. Then came the event that shifted everything. At a private industry dinner attended by top actors and directors, Lee Min-ho was photographed standing alone on a balcony overlooking the city lights. The image was simple yet powerful. He looked calm but distant, as if deep in thought. Within hours, the photo spread across platforms with captions suggesting that he had made a decision. Meanwhile, Song Hye Kyo appeared at a brand launch event radiating composure. She smiled for cameras, interacted warmly with fans, and spoke confidently about her upcoming projects. When asked about relationships, she answered with grace. She said that growth sometimes requires distance and peace. Those words echoed. Fans interpreted them as confirmation. Was this another goodbye? Had there been something ongoing behind the scenes that quietly ended again? But the real turning point happened during a televised interview that few initially paid attention to. Lee Min-ho was asked what chapter of his life he was currently in. Without hesitation, he replied that he was choosing clarity over confusion and forward motion over revisiting the past. His expression was not sad. It was steady, grounded. There was strength in his tone. That was when the narrative changed. Instead of heartbreak, observers began seeing resolution. Instead of emotional longing, they noticed acceptance. It felt less like a dramatic ending and more like a conscious closing of a door. The mind-blowing part of the story is not a secret meeting or a hidden confession. It is the evolution visible in both stars. Lee Min-ho has transitioned into roles that explore depth and complexity rather than fairy tale romance. His characters now wrestle with moral choices and personal growth. Off-screen, he mirrors that maturity. His interviews reflect introspection. His public appearances feel measured and purposeful. Song Hye Kyo too has embraced powerful roles that showcase resilience and quiet strength. Her aura remains composed, her presence commanding without needing dramatic headlines. What if the real story is not about ending something again? What if it is about realizing that certain connections belong to specific chapters and not the entire book? Fans often imagine love stories continuing behind the scenes because the chemistry between two stars feels undeniable. But real life operates differently from scripted dramas. Timing shifts. Priorities evolve. Dreams change. Insiders close to the industry have suggested that both stars are currently focused entirely on career expansion and personal stability. International projects, endorsements, and production ventures demand attention. In such seasons of growth, emotional clarity becomes essential. There was also a small yet telling moment during a recent awards ceremony. Lee Min-ho walked past Song Hye Kyo backstage. Cameras captured a polite nod and a brief smile exchanged between them. It was respectful, calm, not charged with hidden tension or dramatic longing. Sometimes maturity looks quiet. Another goodbye does not always mean tears. It can mean understanding. It can mean gratitude for what once was without trying to revive it. The internet thrives on dramatic reunions and shocking splits. But what unfolded here appears more subtle. Two successful individuals choosing forward motion without bitterness. Two stars who understand the weight of public imagination yet remain focused on their own paths. And perhaps that is why this story continues to fascinate. Because people sense authenticity in their silence. They see strength in the absence of denial or confirmation. They recognize growth when it replaces emotional chaos. So, did Lee Min-ho end it again with Song Hye Kyo? There is no official statement confirming any secret reconciliation or renewed breakup. What exists are reflective interviews, powerful career moves, and a visible shift toward independence. The new turn in their story is not dramatic. It is transformative. It is the realization that sometimes the greatest love story is learning to walk forward without looking back. And that truth is more powerful than any rumor. If you want more deep stories that separate cinematic fantasy from real-world evolution, make sure you subscribe and follow Kdrama Havenn. Because in the world of Korean entertainment, the quietest moments often carry the strongest meaning. If you thought that quiet nod backstage was the end of the story, think again. Because sometimes the most powerful turning points happen after the cameras move away. And this next chapter may be the clearest sign yet that the story of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo has truly shifted into something new. In the weeks following that awards ceremony, both stars made decisions that spoke louder than any statement could. Lee Min-ho accepted a project that industry insiders described as emotionally demanding and psychologically layered. The character he chose was not a romantic hero chasing lost love. Instead, he portrayed a man rebuilding his life after realizing that some relationships exist to teach rather than to last. The symbolism was impossible to ignore. During script reading photos, his expression looked focused and calm. Gone was the reflective uncertainty fans once interpreted as longing. In its place stood determination. Around the same time, Song Hye Kyo was announced as executive producer for an upcoming project. It marked a powerful shift in her career, signaling leadership and creative control. In interviews, she spoke about building something meaningful for the future rather than revisiting the past. Those words resonated deeply. Observers began to see a pattern. Both stars were stepping into new roles not only professionally but personally. They were no longer being framed by old connections. They were defining themselves independently. Then came a subtle but telling social media moment. A fan page posted a nostalgic montage of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo appearances from years ago, captioned with the phrase, "Some stories never end." The post gained massive attention. Yet neither star acknowledged it. No likes. No comments. No quiet signals. Silence can sometimes be the clearest answer. The mind-blowing truth behind this new turn is not hidden drama. It is clarity. And clarity often looks uneventful compared to the storm of speculation. Imagine two global icons constantly linked by headlines that refuse to fade. Every glance analyzed. Every quote dissected. At some point, choosing peace becomes the strongest statement. During a recent overseas fan meeting, Lee Min-ho addressed the topic of moving forward in life. He spoke about gratitude for every person who has influenced his journey. But he emphasized that holding onto the past too tightly can prevent growth.
His voice was steady.
His posture confident. There was no hesitation. Meanwhile, Song Hye Kyo appeared on a talk show discussing reinvention. She said that letting go is not about erasing memories. It is about respecting them while making space for new beginnings. The timing of their words once again fueled conversation. But this time, fans noticed something different. Instead of hoping for reunion clues, many expressed admiration for their maturity. Another goodbye does not always mean a dramatic farewell. It can mean an unspoken agreement to honor what was and move toward what will be. Industry analysts also pointed out that both stars are expanding their global influence. International partnerships, streaming platform collaborations, brand ambassadorships. Their focus appears firmly set on longevity and legacy. When careers reach that level, emotional decisions are rarely impulsive. They are intentional. Perhaps the real new turn in their story is not about ending something again. Perhaps it is about fully stepping into independence without needing to clarify every rumor. The entertainment world thrives on unresolved tension, but real growth often removes that tension quietly.
So what truly happened?
No confirmed reunion, no dramatic split, no public confrontation. What happened was evolution. Two individuals who once shared a narrative in the public imagination now writing separate, powerful chapters. Not as rivals, not as lost lovers, but as artists shaping their own destinies. And maybe that is more inspiring than any dramatic comeback. Because sometimes the most courageous choice is not chasing the past. It is walking forward without fear. If you want more stories that uncover the deeper meaning behind viral speculation, make sure you follow Kdrama Havenn and stay tuned. In the world of global stardom, every quiet shift signals a bigger transformation. And we'll be here to reveal it.